Hey, this is, once you have a post-it and a pen, come right over here. Hey, I want to introduce Lauren Clapper. You know, Lauren wanted that song. Bring her up. Hey, and if you're in the front here, you can move down so everybody can see. Hey, and if you're on the Moment Maker team, you can help by getting everybody's attention. Oh yeah, there's a thing in Germany. Yeah. So Mara and I, we met Lauren, I don't know what it was, 10 years ago, 11 years ago. It'll be 11 years in October. Mara and I were given the gift by the Front Row Foundation to be event coordinators for Lauren's daughter, Sophie. And many of you have heard Sophie's story, you read about it in John's book, but we are so lucky that Lauren is here with us this week. And we wanted to have her share with you before we finish up and continue our celebration tonight and into tomorrow. So can we give a huge Front Row family welcome to Lauren?
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you all. Like he said, my name is Lauren, and I'm Sophie Jane Darr's proud mom. I'm crying already. There's 4 things that not only stick out in my life, but have the biggest spot in my heart, the most magnitude in my memory, the depth of my soul, and just the most pivotal moments of my life. 1 are my children's births. I have 2. One was here yesterday, but he's sick today. My daughter's passing on to heaven. I got to hold her in that moment. Her funeral, because we got to celebrate. But the 4th is definitely our Kelly Clarkson experience. So I want to tell that story, if I can. I took little notes. I never write anything down. I never go prepared if I'm speaking at the Front Row event or anything, but I always say Sophie comes and speaks through me. So she has things she likes to share, and I get the joy and the honor of telling her story through her eyes. But anyway, I'll try and keep it short because I have so many things I want to say, but Kelly Clarkson, like I said, was the most wonderful night of my life with my daughter, more so than any moment. And my daughter lived a very profound life in her 4 short years. She loved Kelly Clarkson more than any 3-year-old loves ice cream or anything. And she wouldn't let me play her anything but her in the car. We had to watch her videos every day and dance on the bed together. Front row moment right there. We had just so many memories with Kelly Clarkson, just listening to her. So through the Front Row Foundation, they nominated Sophie to go see the concert of her choice, and without a doubt it was Kelly Clarkson. So actually, Mara and I formed a friendship for 6 months because it took about that long to get a concert going, or to get Kelly Clarkson on tour, catch her on tour. And so we formed a very deep friendship in my eyes, just talking every day, and I think that gave them the time to do more. And we would have taken anything, a signed picture or whatever, but they took us to the Borgata, they took us to the Rainforest Cafe for dinner. My daughter was on a very strict diet. She had brain cancer. So she was on a vegan diet and very healthy, so they went out of their way and got soy ice cream and everything. And then she got a massive headache right before the concert, and we weren't sure if she was gonna be able to go. So we said, okay, Sophie, we're going to Kelly Clarkson starting now. And she's like, okay, I'm ready. So we heard the music through the Borgata, it's like that big casino, and we started running, and I just ran because she couldn't walk anymore. So I ran her, doors open, we ran to the front row, because where else would we be? And Kelly looked at her, and I'm going to pretend you're Sophie, and she went, oh my God, and started singing to Sophie, and I was like, how did she know that was her? So we come to find out that Kelly Clarkson, through the Front Row Foundation, with everyone's hard work, everyone at the Front Row pulled for this. They told her they found her tour manager, Tim. I remember his name, I remember every vivid detail. This was 10 years ago, and I relive this moment every day, just so you know. So we found out that Kelly found out about Sophie, and she said, I want to meet her. And she said, I don't want to just meet her in a line, I want to meet her privately and spend some time with her. So at the end of the concert, we got to get ready to meet Kelly Clarkson. So they came out and got us. We stood in a room just like this with doors everywhere. Didn't know which one she was going to come out of. And she, after about a half hour waiting, right, Mara? Anyway, I will add, it was John Berghoff, Mara Berghoff, and my family. My son, who was 2 at the time, and Sophie, who was almost 4. So the doors opened, and Sophie had fallen asleep at this point. It was late. And as soon as the doors opened, it was like a movie. My daughter perked up. It was like, oh my God, they just locked eyes. And Kelly was like, oh my God, you're so cute. And I apologize if you've heard this story before, but I love to tell it. And I don't know if anyone is new and haven't heard this story yet. So they locked eyes, and Kelly ran up to Sophie and said, you're so cute, I love your dress, I love your hair, your curls. And she's like, can I hold you? And so she held her for about half an hour to an hour and just talked to her and signed her badge, her VIP badge. And we were all taking pictures, doing the front row pose. And all of a sudden it was really quiet, and we were all just smiling. And Sophie looked over at Kelly and she goes, you're such a nice and pretty singer. And that just melted Kelly's heart. And I actually got to go back after my daughter passed away and thank Kelly. So that was another front row moment, thanks to Mara and everybody at Front Row. I got to go back and thank her, and we had a nice other moment of just gratitude. So that's our experience. I wanted to say a few things. Hal Elrod, I don't know if you're still here, but he's wearing a shirt that says, it's a forever thing. You're wearing it. It's a forever thing. I wanted to say that this isn't just a moment you're creating when you're donating to the Front Row. I remember every vivid memory. I remember the smell in the air. It was my last special moment with my daughter. She passed 2 months later, not even. And a week before she passed, she was laying in the backseat of the car, and I was driving her home. She was in her car seat being held by my husband. But anyway, she said, Mom, she goes, and this was out of the blue, she said, am I ever going to get to see Kelly again? And I said, yeah, you are. So I take this moment with me, not just for a day or a month. I literally live it and feel it and am grateful for it forever. I've made forever lifelong friends. And I'm just very grateful. So it is a forever thing. Thank you. I also wanted to say that your success, thank you. I also wanted to say what Jeff Hoffman said was so inspiring today. He said, your success is someone else's miracle. And he couldn't have been more right, especially about the Front Row Foundation. That was our miracle. My daughter had the best night of her life. And so that's your success. So you should be very proud. And you should call yourself very successful. I also wanted to say that my daughter has passed on 10 years ago. But thanks to you, and thanks to everyone at Front Row, she has a legacy. She's in a book that John Roman wrote. She has a foundation for our family. She helps other children who are in her situation. We give, just to fill you in a little bit, we have a foundation, the Sophie Jane Dark Children's Foundation, and we give money directly to families who have children with life-threatening illness. So she has a foundation, and she helps other children every day. She is an inspiration. So I just wanted to say thank you to some people individually. I'm sorry if this is getting long, but this is the end, I promise. To Hal Elrod, I know he had to leave. I actually got to thank him, and I said, in case you're not here, I said the first time you met me and I met you was in Philadelphia at the Lowe's Hotel about 3 months after Sophie had passed away. And he came up to me and he said, I'm Hal. And he said, I want you to know, I use your daughter's story in every single one of my speeches, and I never even met her, and I never even met you. And so I thanked him tonight. So thank you to Hal Elrod. I wanted to thank Mara and John Berghoff for not only being my friend and making that night so unforgettable. You made it so fun, and you just made us so excited. We had a limo and everything. So your friendship and keeping her memory alive, I'm just so very grateful for the both of you. And to John Berghoff for talking about her on that podcast. He said the most memorable moment out of this experience for him was seeing that she was wearing her VIP pass at her funeral. And she was. It was at her viewing shed and around her neck. And it said, live life in the front row. She did. So thank you. I feel like Dorothy right now, like I'm going home. And I'm sorry if I forget anybody. I truly mean the whole Front Row Foundation, but these are the people that truly made, a personal impact. And I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying I wanted to get the chance to thank them individually. Sorry. Andrew Smallwood and Kirsten Broman. I know I just met you guys in person, but I consider you lifelong friends, even before we met in person. Oh, you're right too. Okay, I can find you at first. I don't know if I can give anything away, but they fought so hard for me to be here this year, and it's very hard for me financially. And they just went out of their way to make us feel welcome and know that I was wanted, and I'm honored that you fought so hard to get me here. So even though I just met you both in person, like I said, I've known you for a long time on Facebook and everything, thank you so much for this experience, and I will take this with me forever as well. John Kane, you have always been such an inspiration to me since the day I met you, and you have such a love for Sophie. And I know you never got to meet her, but you've shown that love to me so many times and just showered me with love. And I don't know the specifics because there were so many of you as a team that worked together to fight with to get Sophie to Kelly. But I just wanted to thank you for being so loving and so inspirational and such a good friend. I don't want to forget anybody, sorry. Tatiana Vroman. I know she's not here, but she is with us in spirit, and she is a huge spirit if you know her. Just like my daughter, a lot of you, I see a lot of my daughter in you. It's like she's here too. But Tatiana, just for being my cheerleader and for constantly being there for me, even if we're far away. She's in Austin, I'm in Jersey, but we're still friends and we still talk. She even wrote me a message, before I came here. Where's John Roman? I feel like I'm gonna propose or something. Check it on my knee. John, I just want to say thank you for this. You get this on video because I just sent it to Jeff when he was, oh my God, I just saw this. Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. I'm an idiot, jeez. Okay, but thanks to you most of all for starting this foundation, for being my friend, for what you gave my daughter and me. I feel like the biggest recipient in life, thanks to you. But I wanted to say thank you most of all for giving my daughter a legacy, something that she will never outgrow or outlive or whatever you call it, that will live on forever. That's what I was trying to say. But you have carried on her memory and honored her more than anyone I know. And I'm so grateful for that, because when you lose somebody, you don't want anyone to forget them. And thanks to your book and your talk about, I won't give it away, but you said October 10th or 12th. Sorry, I'm nervous. You said 2007, that was your opening line, that's all I'm gonna say. But every time I hear you, I'm inspired by you, but just the fact that you have carried my daughter's memory on is such an honor. I'm so thankful for you, and I love you dearly. So thank you. close on one thing. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I was just going to say there's this thing called pain, and I am inspired because I do want to be a keynote speaker and I want to write a book. And that's what Hal was saying. Every parent should write a book. I fully agree. We have no idea what the hell we are doing, but we need to write a book about it. Or they should have given us a book. I don't know how that goes, but I want to write a book. I mean, John inspires me all the time, but I wanted to say in my book, and open with this, that there's this thing called pain. It makes you suffer and struggle like nothing else. It makes you lose sleep at night and it breaks your heart. But it also gives you really great things in life, like seeing the beauty and love in the world. Because without pain, you wouldn't appreciate it. I really feel like Dorothy. It gives you compassion, but I wanted to end on this. Without pain, you wouldn't live in the moment. You wouldn't know how, and you wouldn't feel the feelings you feel when you're like living your last moments, or you think you're living your last moments. So pain makes you almost grateful for that pain and appreciative, and it makes you really, truly live life in the front row. So thank you.
I love you. 1, 2, 3, front row. 1, 2, 3. Front row!
Hey, here's how we're closing this out. If you could grab that Post-it note and a pen, and can we give one more big appreciation for Lauren Clapper for joining us tonight? Hey, so does everybody have a Post-it note in their hand? Post-it note and a pen? Post-it note and a pen? That would be awesome. If you need one, put your hand up nice and high. We can hand you a Post-it note and a pen. All right. Hey, the last thing. Oh.